Where are you? I'm seeing hi, Mark.
You like to hear a little bit of my Negro?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I don't give it to you. This is the Southern Negro.
Uh-huh.
Hey, what up, shawty? What good with you? You straight though? I'm just trying to holler at you, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to know you a little something
You
like
were
that
not
right
expecting
there, you know
that.
what I'm talking about? I want to see you good with it. What's good with you, baby? You got a little booty out there like that, you know what I'm saying? You act like you want somebody to holler at it. You got to stick it out there like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be real with you, baby girl, you know what I'm saying?
I feel this motherfucker so hard right now.
You know, I just want you to know. And so I sort of picked up this dialect, and to this day, I tell you, I get calls for voiceovers, for comedy events, and all sorts of things, all right? But that's one of my most famous hobbies. Hey, good day.
I don't know who this guy is, but I fucking love him.
Jackson Hyman.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to see some of my Southern Negro? Here we go.
That was amazing.
That was damn good. Fuck.
I'm giving this guy a follow.
Wow,
Is
that was
his
the
name?
best video we've ever played on that show. On the show, I totally saw it.
Uh-huh. I bet you did.
It's a top. That's a top 5 cold open.
Yeah, it's definitely a high-end cold open there.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the show, 115th. We got some stories we're going to get through. You know, Luigi's been arrested. We saved a penny on the
Mamma
New York
mia.
subway.
Whoa!
Mitch McConnell fell down, and Jay-Z did he do it? I don't know. We'll talk about it all later on. But
You're ignorant.
oh, goddamn.
That's ignorant.
It's so much louder now. Now it's like very interrupting.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'll turn it down a little
No,
bit.
you're fine. Our guest tonight, the disgraced son of Spike Cohen and host of Fight for Liberty podcast, David Fite. What's up, man?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Oh,
You were on the we did a swamp space, and you were a part of that, and I think that's how we got connected originally. So, yeah, and I know you know a bunch of the guys on the show already, so it's great.
Oh, yeah. Nice to see you guys. Except
Thank
for
you coming
Josh.
on.
Except for Josh, that's right.
I'm everybody's redheaded stepchild. That's fine.
Love you, bro.
Well, hey guys.
If
Yeah, go ahead.
video games have taught me anything, if you're encountering enemies, it means you're going the right way.
That's
There you
right.
go. There you go.
Now, we gotta go through some tradition first, boys. Before we do, well, I guess I'll do it after we do. Tradition. David, sent you a message before. Are you partaking in the festivities with us, or?
I
don't know.
am. I made myself an espresso martini because I'm a fancy bitch.
There you go. All right, Pinky's out.
All right.
It's not out, but
I think he's
off.
up in the chat.
Yeah.
No, it is really nice to finally have a guest on who's actually adhering to tradition.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The last few have, yeah.
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 It's been
I
good.
also have an energy drink open because it was a long fucking day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a little late now. Speaking of late, what do you got, Josh?
I got the Desert Daydream over here. I got the hazy IPA, but I got 3 different of the Desert Daydream I'm going to be drinking tonight.
All right, good deal. Mitch?
I've decided to celebrate Donald Trump announcing the 51st state with a Canadian Molson.
That sounds terrible.
You mean American?
Yeah, it's American
It's a
now.
domestic
Well, no,
beer
because
now,
it's from
sir.
the state of Canada.
What was it?
Ah,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there you go. Smart.
Which is still American.
Yeah, but we're a Floridian podcast.
Yeah, true.
Well, half. Rob, what's up?
I'm drinking vodka waters, just straight vodka waters, finishing off this big handle of purity.
All right. Tonight I'm experimenting with the swamp juice. I got the Bacardi Limon again with the Mountain Dew. That was a really good touch. And so I wanted to try to mix it up a little bit. And so I got some of this sour apple liqueur and mix that in there too. And so I don't know. We're going to try that. I need something. You all make suggestions in the chat or in the comments or whatever, but I need something that's got a little more sting to it. And I thought the sour apple would do it. And it's not bad. It's just not exactly what I'm looking for, you know? But before we get started, we have to say thank you to Cheddar. Before we even went live, Cheddar Cheese dropping in the membership. So thanks, Cheddar. I can't pull it up because that's how it works, but thanks for the membership. Awesome, man. Dave, what's going on in your world? You know, you're the guest. What's on your mind lately? We can get into news stories, but I figure you got something to say.
Oh, sure. I don't know. Most of my energy the last couple of weeks has been spent solidifying plans for LibertyCon in DC, the Students for Liberty convention. It's the second weekend of February. Again, yeah, it's going to be in DC. and I'm going to be on the main stage hosting a panel. I'm going to be the longest time slot on the main stage, which I'm pretty stoked about. So it's a panel. We've got Hollywood actor Mark Pellegrino, former ESPN host Emily Austin, the wrestler like Nick Namath or Dolph Ziggler, however you know him by, and Brando Eaton are all going to be doing a panel together on like going from the media production side of things kind of now into the political talking head side of things, and how that progression worked for all of them. So I'm super stoked about that, but most of my headspace has been like writing questions and stuff for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good speakers going to this thing. Are you going to, when you meet Daryl Davis, are you going to give him your Southern Negro?
I will definitely not. I lived in Flatbush. If anything, it would be a New York City dialect.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do anything.
No, like for real though, this is a good lineup. You got Daryl Davis, you got Kane's gonna be there, David Friedman, Spike Cohen, of course. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good people in here. Yeah.
How'd you get?
There's a few more yet to be announced, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, just be sure to tell Kane that Die Hard is indeed a Christmas movie.
No,
Yeah, please.
That has been some of my favorite shit to watch. I don't have a strong opinion on that topic, but like it's so much fun to watch that shit.
I do love how his WWE like Kane account posted that Die Hard was a Christmas movie, and he's like, "Oh, you too, Brutus." Like, Glenn, the jig's up. You can break kayfabe now. We know it's you in a mask, bud.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I've never seen any evidence that Glenn and Kane are the same person. I mean, I know we always say that this, but come on. I mean, this is kind of like Hulk Hogan and
No,
Mr.
it was
America.
during the,
No, you have corporate Kane, and then you have the monster Kane. You know how this works, Mitch. You've been to WWE once or twice.
there was a big reveal like during the show where he took the mask off and it was him.
Yeah, but that was a different time. You see, that was Kane. That wasn't Glenn Jacobs.
We're time travelers now. What are you talking about?
You're talking about corporate Kane. Corporate Kane's different than Kane.
Yeah.
But no, they're the same. They're Kane. Just one's in a suit and one is in spandex.
I thought you were talking more like Mankind and like Mick Foley, like how they're supposed to be completely different people. Or like Dude Love is different from Mankind, know? Mm-hmm. Cactus Jack.
All three of them are completely different individuals.
Right.
All I'm saying is Royal Rumble, I saw Kane enter as corporate Kane and as the monster Kane. So whatever it is, the Big Red Machine was involved. That's all I'm saying.
My God, we just got very into this wrestling debate.
That got autistic quick.
Yeah, right?
It's wrestling, of course. Like, I told Dolph Ziggler, I said, I'm sorry he's so fucking underrated and underappreciated in the business.
Dude, I have to I've had to go and actually look at who Nick Namath is as a person to change my opinion on him, because as a wrestler, back when I watched it, I fucking hated Dolph Ziggler. He was one of my least favorite, because the last main era that I watched was when he was with Vicky Guerrero and they were fucking over Edge, who was actually my favorite wrestler at the time, and
Edge.
he was just
that was the best time.
So Dolph was doing his job then.
I know.
I mean, but
Dolph
I was
sold you.
14.
Yeah, you fucking
you got
he
sold.
was a piece of shit. So yeah, of course, yeah, I got sold as a kid who still believed in it. But then I kind of stopped watching it, and then all of a sudden, this dude just popping back into my life. I'm like, okay, I need to realize that this is not the dude.
Yeah.
Who was with Vicky Guerrero and whatnot.
So what do you think about him now?
It doesn't matter what you think.
Oh yeah,
that was perfect.
And millions of the Rock's fans. Holy
That was pretty good.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get you with that one.
No, you're good. That was a good one. That was well timed. It's way better than the Jeremy Kaufman fart.
It's way better. It's way better on my computer than it is on the soundboard, because I have to search through the soundboard now.
Yeah.
We've streamlined the sound bites.
Oh, great.
So Dave, let me rein everybody back in real quick here. So you're going to be hosting a big panel at LibertyCon. You never told us what the actual panel was about, dude.
Oh, true.
So yeah, it'll be like I said between sorry, I thought I did. Between those four people that I mentioned,
Hostile interview.
We'll be going over kind of just their transition from like media personality, like more Hollywood style, versus more of political talking heads like they are now, and kind of that transition and the difference of the worlds between reading off of a script and actually having to have your own opinions on things and articulate them, and the various aspects of how much their lives have changed after kind of coming out as the not stereotypical political opinion of someone on ESPN or in Hollywood or something like that. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about like censorship and backlash, and if they've lost friends over it or anything like that. But I'm honestly still working on the question, so we'll see where it all goes.
Who's on
At
the
one
panel
point,
with
you should. Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, you're fine. Who's on the panel with you?
So the panel is going to be Mark Pellegrino, who played Lucifer in Supernatural.
Oh, okay.
And then Emily Austin, who is an ESPN host. She did like NBA stuff. And then Nick Namath or Dolph. And then what's the other one? Brando Eaton, who's an actor.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
What were you going to say, Rob?
No, I thought it was going to be Glenn Jacobs and Dolph Ziggler up there. So I was going to say, at one point, you got to just challenge him so you get choke slammed or something,
I was talking to the people that are putting on LibertyCon yesterday, and I was like, can we at least make them do like an arm wrestling match?
Yeah.
Something. Like, can we say, like,
No, what's his finisher?
twist reality a little bit and be like, all right, yeah, they're going to wrestle. And then it's just like an arm wrestling match or something like that.
Yeah, that would be good.
War.
Being I worked in the wrestling industry, the state's athletic commissions really frown upon when you pull that bait and switch on them.
Oh,
Fuck 'em. That's what I
Yeah.
say.
I
It's a
agree.
libertarian convention. Fuck
I
the
agree. Yeah, the
Is it a
libertarian
libertarian
convention
convention or a Republican convention?
in DC.
That's an interesting one. SFL's always kind of walked a fun line from that because they're an international organization, so they supersede the American liberty movement and its kind of ebb and flow on the political spectrum. So I would say libertarian, but that the people that are there are going to range quite widely from left to right libertarian. There's going to be a lot of people who like campaigned with Trump, and then a lot of like kind of at least especially in the audience, some like European lefty like anarcho-communist types. So it'll be a fun convention for sure.
I just for me, before we get into the next clip, I did want to go into that a good bit because I noticed that for the Students of Liberty event that we tabled for the Mises Caucus, Mitch, a couple years ago, it's not like a pipeline from the colleges to the parties, kind of like the college Republicans or college Democrats are. It's more, it stops. It doesn't go into the party. And that's something that we as libertarians, if we're going to have a sustainable party, we need to have that pipeline into universities and kind of build that. I don't know what the best way to do that is. I think it's good we have some good people there, I think that's good. But, most of those people are probably going Republican, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know about that from my experience, but I mean, maybe David can correct me here, but I mean, the fact that it's international pretty much ensures that, there is no pipeline to the party, because how the fuck are we going to add somebody to the U.S. Libertarian Party who lives in Austria or fucking what? I think I met somebody from, yes, Mitch, I can pay these people to move to the United States and register to be a libertarian.
I'm saying if you want those college kids to join, you got to give them that money, because if you just say, oh, come do volunteer for nothing, they ain't going to want to fucking come.
No, college Republicans does the same shit, and they get tons of people. Same thing with college Democrats. It's all about
but they offer a pipeline from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also offer you some resume credentials too, and they look like a well put together organization that people know. And when you come in there and you read college Republican, you don't go, "What the fuck is a college Republican?" Like you would if you said college libertarian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. True.
I think what's interesting from my experience with both SFL and Young Americans for Liberty, which is fairly similar. Most of the alumni that I know are not involved in politics at all. They like went red pill then white pill and like went and built a family and a life and went and did the like fucked out of there. Spent a couple of years knocking doors for money in college and then went and did shit because they realized that this wasn't actually the life for them. unlike the college Republicans and Democrats that I know, that most of them still knock doors in their like early 30s. So that's kind of an interesting thing. I feel like they're more morally centric organizations of people that actually just want to build up the best people and not just slaves for their organization or for their party. And so they're actually training these kids to be as smart, as resourceful as possible. And then they go out and they do stuff. And then maybe sometimes they come back. Thomas Massey's chief of staff is a Yale alumni. And sometimes they go on and do other cool stuff. But
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it reminds me of our conversation on Sunday. We were
$36 trillion. How the fuck will we let this happen?
We were talking. The points you're making are relevant. I'll explain. On Sunday, we were having a discussion about this. That people just need to stop focusing so much on politics and get your goddamn life together. And then people will actually give a shit what you have to say about it. And the conversation that we were having is like, if you can't pay your portion of the debt, then I don't want to hear your opinion. But yeah,
that's an interesting threshold. What is it?
How much is?
Yeah, I'll blow it back up. Yeah.
So we agreed that you have to choose the debt per taxpayer.
If you're, I mean, if you have a family, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can choose the debt per citizen and multiply it by how many people live in your household. It's your call. Whatever's cheaper, I'll let that one slide.
Yeah. What we were discussing was like, there's a lot of like bad candidates and bad people that go on to represent us, and most of them don't have their shit together, don't have their lives together, and like this is the problem that we're facing. All of them.
Take the kids' gloves off. These people don't know how to dress themselves. They've never seen a barber in their fucking lives. They look like a fucking bum panhandling off of I-95, and they want your money to run for an office they have no fucking shot at winning on, and even they know that, and they'll tell you flat out, yeah, I know I'm going to get 2, 3, 4% of the vote, but fuck it, give me $1,000 anyway, because I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose the best. I'm gonna do the best loser you ever met. Like, don't kids them. Tell them the truth, Tim. Tell them what they need to hear.
Yeah, I mean that's why we have you here, Josh. Thank you. No, I mean, but like that was a
arrogant to a fault. I know it's in my bio.
I couldn't agree more. That's a rant I go on often, though. Is if you're not put together enough to get on stage, then please do not do it. The other thing, if you don't believe in yourself or enough to call your mom first and ask for money, and then like 5 or 6 of her friends, then get the fuck out of here. Like if you can't actually tap into your own personal network, don't run for office. If you don't have enough savings in the bank to last you through the campaign, don't run for office. It's not going to make you money. Especially not as a libertarian.
Put yourself into debt. Don't run for office.
Yeah.
If you need to take out a 3rd mortgage before you get to convention, don't run for office.
I'm trying to wonder now who that is.
I'm not naming any names. We're not naming any names.
That way we can tease anyone listening.
Take the kid gloves off, but don't name names. Don't ask who they are, okay?
Go drop it in the private.
Who are those?
I won't say it.
Who are those people exactly?
Well, I refer to them as my Southern Negroes. I'm just gonna keep doing it. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, before we get into the one of the main stories tonight, $5 drink. Ronan is
all right.
Yeah, Ronan's always trying to get us to get Matthew McConaughey on board. If I could, I would. He doesn't listen to me because I don't have my shit together yet. Okay?
I brought this up last time he talked. He brought up Matthew McConaughey. I think we're much more likely to get Rob Schneider. And Rob Schneider did drop some news today. I don't know if we're going to go over that, but
we'll go over whatever we want.
Dave.
Yeah, send me links and we'll get there. Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck all y'all guys below me. Dave, you're more put together than all of us. That's why you're up on stage hosting this panel. What can you do to get Matthew McConaughey on the next
help Ronan make his dreams come true?
I don't know. I think to Tim's point, I think I would be a lot closer to getting Schneider onto something than McConaughey.
Yeah, that was Rob. Yeah, for sure.
I'm not asking for Schneider. I'm asking what can you do for Matthew?
Dude, I think you could call Schneider up and get him right now. Honestly, like
$10,000 in appearance.
Yeah, and that's doable for this organization. McConaughey's like, "No, man, Texas is in the playoffs next week."
It probably is. That's probably.
No, we really need to support some gun control because some of these gun laws are really bad.
That's the bad part. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had this conversation, Mitch. We all have our bad libertarian opinions. Some of us it's guns, some of us it's capital punishment, some of us it's war, economics.
Nukes.
We all have nukes. We all have our bad libertarian opinions. Matthew McConaughey is his guns. Mine is capital punishment. Tim's is that he likes gay boys and cat ears.
Oh, God damn it. Wouldn't that make me more of a libertarian?
Yeah.
No, that would make you a Republican, sir. A Nazi Republican,
Oh,
nonetheless.
that's right. Yeah, I got to be in the closet. That's right.
Yeah, you got to chase them cat boys in private.
Oh, my God. Okay. I hate my friends. Anyway. There was one story that came out, and we'll talk about it. There was some breaking news over the last day or so. There was actually two big breaking news. What did I say?
No, not you. I'm just Ronan in the chat is
Oh,
just
what'd he
doing the
say?
domino effect here. Rob Schneider could get Matthew McConaughey.
That's right. You get one,
That's
you get the
probably
other.
true. Yeah.
There you go.
It's fishing. You put a little bait on there.
Yeah.
Blam blam.
You catch a small
get
fish,
bigger
you top it up, throw it back in, you get some more fish.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Ronan's onto something, man.
Yeah, definitely. All right, here we go. Breaking news.
All right.
This is your first look at the man police say is responsible for the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City. Luigi Mangione was arrested at an
Mamma mia.
Altoona, Pennsylvania McDonald's on December 9th after an employee reportedly tipped off police that someone resembling the suspect was in the restaurant. An Altoona police officer approached Mangione.
He had asked the suspect if he had been in New York City recently, and that really invoked a physical reaction from the suspect. He became visibly nervous, kind of shaking at that question.
Police say Mangione gave officers a fake ID, and inside his backpack was a written document expressing his hatred toward the health insurance industry.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm just going to sit at a conspicuous ass McDonald's, let a cop come up to me, not try to make a break for it at least, and I'm going to have my whole manifesto in my backpack, by the way.
And the gun.
And
And
the
the
gun.
And the gun.
And the gun. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Man.
kind of stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hate to agree with Hector here, but there's a patsy around every corner, guys. A lot of people look
Yeah.
like people. I
Yeah,
met a
we're-
dude.
Yeah, you
bet
guys
you
want to
know
skip to the end already. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met a dude who looks like me. Like, literally, like, sounds like me, looks like me. If you put a hat and sunglasses, you would think it's me. That motherfucker's name's Daniel, though. That ain't Josh.
Yeah, there's also
I'm just
Sean
saying.
here in Florida. You
I'm
have
just
another.
saying. Yeah,
We have another Josh Halavka.
Yeah, we got, and then there's Deshane Gillis. Have you ever seen Deshane Gillis before? Like, that guy kind of looks like Rob, like, over here.
Yeah.
Like, God forbid if Deshane Gillis ever did anything wild. Like, Rob would go to jail.
Yeah, Duchesne is a wild boy for sure.
Duchesne, like, gotta watch out for Duchesne Gillis out there. But, like, not the same as Shane Gillis, guys. Duchesne and Shane Gillis are two different
Duchesne.
people. Duchesne.
He wears a
He's got a
do-rag.
do-rag on.
So what do you
Do-rag.
so what do y'all let's start with David. Let the guest go first. But what do you think of the story, man? Like, you've been following the CEO assassination story like everybody else, and what do you think? You think it's a setup like these guys are saying?
Yeah, honestly, that's where I'm at
Oh,
as well.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. I've been
What
saying
makes
that.
you say that?
I'm Southern Negro.
Yeah.
Man, so the points, most of the points already just got said. You know, who goes out in public that recently with a manifesto and the gun on them? Like, this dude had like a 135 IQ. He was an Ivy League grad. This kid was smart. This is not some idiot that just does dumb things. And multiple times over, we see him do very dumb things throughout this. Whether this is more like a Michigan governor, he had 7 different feds in his messages telling him to do this, or an actual just somebody else actually did this, and this is just the fall guy. I don't know which one it is, but there's no way that this is just his natural course of action. I don't believe it.
I don't know, man. I think people are that stupid, and they wanna Well, here I'll play some more. I got some more clips for you
Pretty
about
crisp.
him and his motivations and whatever.
Pretty crisp.
All lies. It's all lies.
It's all lies, all of it.
It's all lies.
We'll get
Everything
into
that
him being brought into the police station shouting some pretty weird stuff too.
Yeah, we actually
of
have
course.
some audio clip of that right here.
I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
Honestly, that's not even far off.
It's not.
Yeah, it honestly wasn't. That was actually pretty close there, Rob.
Yeah.
Like you're laughing. Everyone, all of us are laughing. But that was like I watched that video ahead of the show. Like, yeah, that's.
It was pretty close.
Yeah, that was actually kind of what he was going.
Roll it.
Okay, here I'll roll. This is supposed to be a clip of that. 2 new contenders have entered the ring. David, feel free to play along. Here we go.
The latest on the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian.
Oh, I got to make it bigger. Sorry. Here you go.
Yeah, sorry, boys.
2 new contenders have entered the ring.
The latest on the killing
No and
of
yes
United
in that
Healthcare
order.
CEO Brian Thompson.
Would not
The
and
suspect
would.
making himself heard.
Barely
outside
would
of
on the
court
right,
today.
but would.
26-year-old
Barely.
Luigi Mangione went before a judge
no
in
and yes.
Pennsylvania
Never
for
mind.
an extradition
Would not.
hearing.
Never
and as
mind. I
deputies
heard her
were
voice.
leading him
Would not
into
with
the building,
either.
he shouted about a quote.
Can we have a timeout real
Insult
quick?
to the intelligence.
Sure.
NBC Bay Area, you all need to upgrade your fucking like female anchor. These are 2 would-nots. Like, where are the
Where
young
is this at?
and like
Yeah.
young spry anchors that we need in our lives?
Elon Musk hasn't hired him yet. Oh, fuck.
Unfortunately, Roger Ailes no longer runs the news.
How is this Bay Area, California? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, that explains it then.
Does it? That's worse.
that explains
Aguilera
why-
and Wang, yeah, you got a fucking Mexican bitch and a fucking wannabe like Filipino bitch. Like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but this is the best you got?
That's the best you got out in the Bay Area.
That's what I'm
Have
saying.
you been to California?
Yes.
They're exporting all of their hot bitches to Arizona and Nevada.
Oh,
like,
that's
they don't
why
want
you
to
moved
stay
there.
there.
That's why you moved. We
Hell
got it,
yeah.
guys. We got it.
I got Arizona University right up the road there, and I got ASU about an hour up north. Like, there's college hoes everywhere. Like, I ain't worried about hoes.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Of the American
much? Their
people. The
college
judge
tuition.
denied Mangione bail, and he's contesting extradition to New York.
Contesting it, just provides more hoops for law enforcement and prosecutors to jump
This
through.
man has herpes. Look at that herpes fucking scar he's got on his fucking upper lip.
I just want to see him yelling. That's what we're here for. Okay.
Yeah,
An angry Luigi
Damn, well done.
Mangione could
Too
be
late,
heard
too late,
yelling
too
to reporters and cameras as he was led into a Pennsylvania courthouse
this version
today,
is it-
saying, quote, "It is completely out of touch and is an insult to
play?
the American people and
Yeah, they're
their
just gonna
lived
have her saying it.
experience."
The Benny Johnson
the
one
alle-
actually had the clip.
Yeah, I'll pull the Benny Johnson one too. That's a good one. That'll go into the theory. I was going to go through all the stuff that it said in his manifesto and all the stuff that they caught him with, but you guys are already convinced that it's a goddamn conspiracy.
Nope.
So who gives a shit?
Goddamn CIA
No,
plan.
Tim, I'm on your side. Tim, I'm on your side. I
No,
think,
you're not, Rob. Shut up. You're on our side.
I mean,
No,
if
I'm
he
on
is an
Tim's side.
idiot, if he is an idiot, we thought he was James Bond when really he was like the Pink Panther.
No, I didn't think he was
No.
James Bond. I didn't think it was that complicated of a thing. Go back and watch. I said, like, this guy probably just has a gripe with the insurance agency. What he did wasn't all that complicated. He shot a
man.
guy and got on a bike and kept his face hidden as long as he could. Because eventually he was going to get caught.
Yeah, I've seen people like this. The valedictorian type, the school book smart type. You know, they think they are literally the smartest person alive, and then they happen to not be, and they happen to fucking do some dumb shit.
Come on. Like, I hate to hit you with Joe Biden, but come on, man. Like, for real? You're going to tell me this dude showed up right on time, right as this dude was
He didn't
leaving.
show up right on time. He waited out there for like 4 hours.
Okay.
He knew what this dude was.
Over
knew what he
multiple
was saying.
days.
I
Like,
bet you could
how did he get-
Google. Yeah, I bet you could Google like United Healthcare's like board meeting. They probably
Yeah,
put
I
it on
could-
their website like the Libertarian Party does.
Ted Kaczynski was also an Ivy League guy, and there's a lot of shit about him being an MK Ultra person.
It's
just
funny
Rob,
you mentioned that.
I'm not.
because-
No. You know,
Rob,
I'm not doubting there was no kind of involvement with like people
Mr.
paying him or anything like that. But this
You
guy
just think
definitely
that
had a
Luigi
vendetta.
was the one who
Mr.
actually
Vincent.
did perpetrate
This
it.
guy definitely had a vendetta against like the
Mr.
medical industry.
Robert
himself.
Vincent Esquire. Let me ask you a very pertinent question right now. I want you to put your legal hat on for a minute here. Your clients were waiting outside 4 hours for this dude. He just offed him. How do you explain how this man even knew how to find this guy? Like, it's not, I'm sure that the United Healthcare meeting, like public shareholders meeting, is probably public record and you can find it. But yeah, where this motherfucker was staying at, what hotel, like what time about he was supposed to come out. Like, yeah, homie waited 4 hours, but you had to have a rough idea where boy was coming out, or you're just waiting for nothing. Like, explain this. Make this make sense to me, Robert.
I mean, first of all, if I'm the prosecution and he's waiting 4 hours, that's easy premeditation. That's easy premeditation.
I'm not saying it wasn't premeditation.
How
did he find out where?
Yeah, actually, you just did. If he's waiting outside for nothing, Josh, it's not premeditated.
How do you
that's
even
premeditated.
Know? He could have been waiting outside for anything.
Because the definition of premeditation is lying in wait, dumbass. That's how.
Yes. And you're not answering my question, though, Rob. You make a very great lawyer. That's why I'm glad you got your legal degree and you passed the bar. But you're not answering my very direct question of how did he know that gentleman was in that hotel? And about what time was he going to come out? I'm sure we can, argue the last part really easy.
I already said that. I think they probably had the meeting posted online. It's probably a business meeting, a quarterly business meeting.
Have you ever been to Manhattan in New York City? Do you know how many hundreds and thousands of hotels are out there? How do you know exactly
you have to publicly notice meetings like that, Josh? You should know that.
You publicly, Robert, I publicly noticed the LNC meeting. Does that mean I'm going to find you at that hotel necessarily? Or is that what you're saying? You're always going to stay at the convention hotel or the meeting?
There's a lot of people involved. I'm sure you could ask around. I mean, who knows? Who knows what he did? I don't know exactly what he did.
Robert,
the fact is he knew. The fact is he
Nobody
knew
give
about.
me answers to the questions I have.
I answered all your fucking questions, you retard. I don't know.
Yeah, you answered them retardedly, and I didn't understand them, which is why I'm asking more questions.
I don't know how he knew, Josh. No one knows.
That's exactly it. How did he know? Because he's a goddamn spook. He's a goddamn fucking op.
Let me.
I'm not denying all that.
He might correct this.
You said no. I agree with you, Tim. He's not an op. He's an op.
Let me correct it because I gave out some misinformation.
He doesn't
want to give you the right information.
Tim, he does not listen.
You guys don't listen to each other. It's fine. Look, so I have to correct some information. I said he's waiting out there for hours. I did a quick search to see how long he waited, and multiple reports are saying that he was actually only there for several minutes. I got anywhere from 5 to 7.
Yeah, let's get it, baby. Let's keep going. Keep running that train down.
Yeah, my eardrum.
Only 5 to 7. He was only there for 5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes, man. That sounds like I could have been tying my shoes.
Yeah, the reports vary. They say the reports vary. They say 5 minutes. They say several minutes. Point is, not long.
We don't know.
The shareholders meeting was at that hotel, or was he staying at that hotel in town for the shareholders meeting? That I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if he was leaving the meeting, that's easy. Like has already been said, that is public information. If he was like just in town for said meeting and the dude knew which downtown Manhattan hotel he was in, that I think speaks to Josh's point.
That meeting was not at that hotel. That was why he was leaving the hotel, was to go to the meeting. And they actually started the meeting for about 30, 45 minutes before they realized their CEO was off, and then they canceled the meeting. Because they're like, holy shit, our CEO got offed. We should probably not be doing this right now. We got more important things to handle as a company. Our CEO just got fucking iced in the middle of Manhattan. In the most surveilled city in America, the most populated city in America, with the most police presence in America, and this dude just got off in a random hotel.
As a New Yorker, that's what baffles my mind. Like, I lived in New York City for almost 6 years, and he basically got away with it. That's what I think is wild. Is if you get away with it, who goes to fucking McDonald's the next day? Like, just wherever you are, stay there for at least like a week. Yeah. The news in this country lately has been so ridiculous. His pictures would literally be off social media by now if he didn't get caught. Mm-hmm. Like this story literally would have died in 3-4 days max, and he would be able to go back to a semi-normal life, and people would forget that little bit of a picture of him that they saw. And he would have actually gotten away with it. The fact that he got caught is what makes me think that this isn't quite right. Because like he got away with it in New York City. What the fuck?
Okay. Let me. Gun. He didn't ditch the gun. You had leaving
Yeah,
New
that was-
York. You'd have
that's
to have
insane.
a lot of
You
opportunities.
didn't chuck
to ditch
that bitch
shit.
off of the Gothels as you were crossing. You didn't chuck that shit over the Verrazano when you were crossing. Wild. You didn't chuck that shit over the GW.
And it was
you got
freely
all in the
printed.
PA. You didn't chuck that shit over the Benny, the Walt Whitman, the Commodore Barry. You didn't chuck that shit over any of them bridges in the rivers when you were going.
Let me ask you this: what is if it was a hit or whatever from the CIA or whoever you want to say? If it was what's the purpose? Why kill him?
Somebody knows something.
There's not like a good motivation.
That's even a better question. I wish I had that. It's honestly one I wish I had an answer for.
Because you need means, motive, and opportunity. What's the motive?
I mean, as far as like if it is a conspiracy, maybe someone on the inside of United Health was upset with how he was running the business. I think there was a video of Brian Thompson himself saying he was working with like Anthony Fauci and Nancy Pelosi and shit like that. So he might have made some people angry. But motivation just the killer himself, that spine surgery that we have come to find out.
Yeah,
that
here,
he
let me play this because this was what Rob's getting at, some of the stuff that they found.
While you're pulling it up, I do want to say I did do
Yeah.
a quick search on this. Brian Thompson was shot outside the Hilton Hotel where the meeting was happening.
Yeah,
so it wasn't at the
investors'
hotel
meeting.
he was staying, and the hotel was across the street from an affiliate hotel which he was staying at. So it was literally right across the street, and he was shot at the hotel where the investors meeting was happening.
All right, let's learn some more about this guy and what they found on him.
Katia, good morning. We know a little bit about the shooter's background, but have we gotten any closer to potential motive for the killing?
Good morning, Andrew. Yes, we are here where the crime scene took place last week, and now we actually have a suspect arrested in connection to the killing of the CEO of United Healthcare. What police have already told us from what was found on him when he was found in a McDonald's in Pennsylvania was that there was a handwritten document 3 pages long on his person. Now, the document hasn't been yet released by police. However, the police officials who have looked at the document and reviewed the document said in the criminal complaint that they described it as a manifesto, leading us to some clues as to his motivation and mindset before the killing. And so what we know from the lines of the document is that he has actually stated that these parasites had it coming. Now, when he talks about these parasites, we're not sure of a specific threat or person he was talking about, but police officials said that in the document, he did actually name United Healthcare. And he also noted that the size of the company and how much money the company makes. He also made a claim, a note in the document that he these companies prioritize profits over people. That was a point in the document, as well as the NYPD stating that the document makes it clear that he acted alone and was self-funded in this shooting. Now, overall, we still are trying to figure out more so of a motive behind this killing. Ultimately, what we know about the shooter is that he came from a wealthy family, a wealthy background, Ivy League schooling and also private schooling, and that he actually his last known address was in Hawaii. We've heard from his roommate who said that he had experienced back pain and had a surgery not long ago and could have led to some clues as to why he went after this particular CEO. Ultimately, what we are looking at from police and also from the internet is clues as to what also led to him possibly taking this shooting right here in New York against that CEO. What we also know for sure, looking through social media accounts like Goodreads and his X account, is that yes, he apparently had back pain and had a surgery and complications. He read about books around chronic pain and living with pain. And so all of these are culminating into what we could find out more so later on today or later this week about his motivation. What we do have right now is a statement from the family about Luigi Mangione.
All right, so his family's going to talk about him or whatever. That doesn't matter. But there's a lot of interesting stuff there that was said, I think. And I saw you freaking out because it's like, oh, look at all this convenient evidence or whatever. But to me,
super convenient. Case closed, boys.
But
Why did he have it on him?
But to me, he's a shit leftist who thinks he knows better, and he just get upset because he got screwed over, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm going to take it into my own hands and take care of this guy." It's more complicated.
Man, that's super convenient.
Yeah. What?
To be fair, when we showed the Benny Johnson clip, it could be either or depending on
I've
what
got
you're both saying.
the Benny
there.
Johnson clip ready, but I want to give everybody a chance to.
How fucking convenient.
I agree with Tim.
You
I
are
want to point out.
wrong.
I want to point out real quick because, like Tim, you said he's a shit leftist.
Yes.
There's been plenty of evidence to come out recently, like as we found out who it was, and like some of his like social media accounts and stuff. He's not necessarily a leftist.
Profits over people. That's a shit leftist take.
No, that's an objectively accurate take.
No.
Those companies, especially that company, put profits over the people that they like have.
They
as
do
clients.
have double.
I
the
have
amount
United Healthcare. Like I know.
I have United Healthcare too. I can agree.
United's pretty fucking good, dude.
And the thing is, most companies put profits over people, and that's like why capitalism, as it's been kind of redefined and put out there, has such a bad rap, and why we struggle to actually like communicate our ideals, because we're not talking about what's going on now, but both sides hate the crony capitalist bullshit, whatever you want to call that. Like you can be a right winger and still objectively see that they put profits over people, and they should try to be better people, maybe. And like he's a fan of like Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan and like Andrew Tate, and was possibly
that doesn't sound like a shit leftist.
Is he?
I'm just saying.
He's all over the political compass.
Yeah, he honestly, if anything, he seemed kind of like a normie, hasn't quite figured everything out and become one of us libertarian. If anything.
Oh, great.
I mean, I know he actually did figure it out. Off the fucking elitist, and will make
there's
things
a very
better.
there's a very thin line. Either you figure out economics and you become a libertarian, or you shoot a CEO because profits over people.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
He didn't read the nap.
The difference is you became a libertarian if you did not go on Reddit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know, Rob, I get what you're saying, but did the healthcare companies violate us with all the COVID regime shit?
Right after I said
was
that,
it a NAP
I was
violation or was
that
it
was
not?
pharmaceutical.
Well, I was
This
thinking
is
more of
insurance.
maybe they
Which-
violated personally
Yeah.
him because of the surgery and how they did him.
That's what
But
I'm thinking,
they
man.
did give him the surgery though.
And
They
Did he get
give
the
him
surgery?
Yes,
He
he
said he
did.
had complications or whatever, right?
You're gonna have complications. I wonder why he got the surgery. Did he fall down a fucking
It was a surfing incident.
surfing incident? Oh, that's right. That's right. I did read that earlier today.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm not convinced. Maybe
Oh.
maybe Benny can convince me. You got anything, Mitch, before I go there?
Nothing other than the shit that he plays with him going into the police station is weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here we go.
motherfucker.
And it could fit either narrative of what you're saying. Like he either like Tim, what we're about to watch, I could see how you could look at this and think, yeah, he's just a shithead leftist. But I could also see how Josh could look at this and think, yeah, that's shady as fuck.
My quote was I was
Goddamn
specifically quoting Javier Milei. It is shit leftist. Okay, that's how you say it. It's not shithead leftist. It's shit leftist.
It's not a shit leftist. It's a potted fucking plant.
We'll see. All right, let's go.
We heard
Potted fucking plant.
that's what we heard from him. That's all we had heard from him before this video that just broke.
Go.
Which makes, again, this whole situation so incredibly strange. So this is Luigi Mangione yelling
Get to it,
as
Benny.
he's being escorted into prison in Pennsylvania. He's been charged with murder in New York. And he screamed and yelled at the press how to be roughed up by the cops. What did he yell? It's completely out of touch. It's an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
Down.
Oh my God! That's completely out of touch. And the insult,
Roughed up, look at him.
intelligence of the American people, and lived experience.
Completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived experience, he says.
Lived experience. There's that language again.
That you see, that's the thing
Exactly.
that makes me think what you're saying.
Yeah.
But he's also right. Like I mean, the whole disconnect here is that the American people are like, yeah, fuck the insurance companies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, and it is weird. Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't disagree. Like, yeah, like the insurance companies are god awful dog shit. Like, how do you fuck the insurance companies. They I was saying the same thing during the summer love. Fuck Target, fuck Walmart. Like, y'all are multi-trillion-dollar businesses. You can afford those L's. Suck it up and deal with it. Like, mom and pop shops can't deal with that shit, and they're not going to get your fucking bailout money, you fucking socialist commie losers. Like, same deal. Like, I don't feel bad for some weirdo socialist commie fucking CEO or some weirdo socialist healthcare program that's going to fucking try to force a fucking experimental fucking vaccine in me and my kid's fucking arm. You're going to feel bad for that dude? You think the dude who was fucking playing tickle butt with Anthony Fauci is worth your fucking time? Shit, I don't even think he was worth the fucking bullets that were pumped in him, but goddamn, somebody else did.
Yeah.
All right.
I was distracted by my asshole friends. Keep going.
Yeah. I think it is weird. So I've just seen tons and tons of videos from this thing. Apparently he did disappear for like 3 months, and all his friends were like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Going to spook school.
Yeah, he went to MK Ultra
That
school.
only kind of raises the red flags even more.
This was I don't know if I want to call it the smoking gun or not, but I've seen this going around a whole bunch.
No, he had the smoking gun also.
Yeah, no, but this is what I'm talking about.
That is crazy. That is not his eyebrow. That's for sure not his eyebrow.
That's what I'm saying. Proof he's a spook. More proof. That is not the same eyebrow line. There's not the same facial features, the same skull
What facial
structure.
features? There's no features here.
It's purely the unibrow. Purely the unibrow versus the bibrow.
No, I understand the eyebrow. He's talking about facial features, though.
I said
bibrow.
bibrow.
I'm sorry, that unibrow, that bibrow don't turn into a unibrow in like 3 days.
No, this does look weird. Yeah. And there was another video that was going around.
The guy on the left with the hood is also a lot lighter complexion. I'm just saying.
That could be
that could be camera.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you
Your Honor, that man, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Listen, I made in our thumbnail tonight, I made David Fite look like he's been outside, okay? And clearly not. So
leave my Southern Negroes alone.
I'm just saying, like, you can it's not that hard to like get a little color in your skin.
Yeah, maybe they grow in quick, someone says in the chat. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
eyebrows
not that quick.
Not a week, dude. Not a week. Eyebrows are not facial hair.
I know he's Italian, but fucking Christ, guys.
He's
come
Italian.
on.
That is true.
And that's what the prosecution is going to say. Your Honor, he's Italian. That's going to be the main prosecution.
Here's
I have a.
Sorry, no, you're fine. You can go next. Supporting comment for Josh. Anyone could have a ghost gun and manifesto about healthcare system. He said himself he's not guilty. So whatever.
I always carry all my ghost guns and manifestos with me wherever I go. That way they don't know what I'm doing.
Go ahead.
All right, so I saw a theory on the Twitters that I think I don't know. I'm not going to argue for it, but it's an interesting one. That basically this guy realized that he looked a lot like the person that did it, has a lot of those opinions already, and just went and got himself caught for it. Has an alibi that he hasn't told anybody yet, and is going to share that in a couple of days after he went from like 137 followers on Twitter to now 380,000 overnight. If he has an alibi, gets out of it, it's not like he loses that following. Like we were talking before the show started about Hawk Tua and Tiffany Gomez and those other. Like, this dude had actual opinions and is educated, and people kind of respect him, even if he didn't do it. There are people out there that are like, this guy's got it
calling him a
figured
hero.
out.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I find that an interesting theory of is this guy completely innocent, but just realized he was close enough of a lookalike to just get rich quick off of it.
That would be. I agree. Yeah, with Barfield, that would be hilarious if that was true.
That would be actually pretty hilarious.
That's
American
it would be
capitalism.
hilarious, but it's just so outlandish that I just can't see it being
And it's really easy. It's really easy for him to get away with it
to be
too.
true.
In modern day America, where we're so focused culturally on being famous and having our 15 minutes where our opinion is more valuable than anybody else, like, come on, man. That's why social media has gotten so big. That's why all of these crackhead reality shows have gotten so big, because it just gives people a platform that, like, my opinion is more valuable than it actually is.
It's why crackhead streamers go to other countries and get thrown in prison for acting like crackheads. Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Again, like I feel like after Hawk Tuah, like what I would not be surprised by anyone's rise to stardom at this point.
Yeah.
Like the crazy bullshit that people will do to become famous, because it really does equal money so quickly now.
Sure. Yeah. You just pump a meme coin and dump it.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Or sing Island Boys. You can sing the Island Boys.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was probably him. I think he's just a misguided idiot. You know, he thinks he's smarter than everybody else, and that's why he got away with it for a little bit. But then, you know, he let the mask slip because he got arrogant. I don't think he was a Fed, because I don't think that there's any Fed motivation to this. All it did was maybe you could argue that this is a Fed op because it's like a psyop in a way that it'll create copycat killers, and that there will be some kind of what do you call that? Or turmoil that generates from this, because, you know, like I said, people were calling him a hero, and my camera went out.
Boom.
Yeah, people were calling him a hero and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that inspires copycat. Maybe it is just somebody grifting on the moment to say, because, you know, he said, you know, you're playing these people for fools. I could see that angle as well. But, you know, right now it looks like it was him, and it doesn't look like it was anything more than, you know, just a shit leftist. I don't care what his Twitter feed said.
Honestly, he looks like all the crackhead collapsitarians that we've seen around us over
Yeah.
the last couple of years. Like, we got to do something right now, guys. And that was just him doing something right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're going to kill us tomorrow, guys. We got to do something right now, or the state's going to get us.
I will say, whatever
Yeah.
he said, it's a completely, you know, it's whatever he said whenever he was hopping out the police car. It's almost nonsensical. You know, like it's like, what is he talking about exactly? What is, you know, calling into what is it that is an insult to the American people exactly? He said it. You know, it's like them arresting you. It sounds like if he was really smart, this may go to Josh's point. They manipulated him and MK Ultra'd him. That's the. But I mostly agree with Tim.
Here, I found the raw video.
Luigi
Go
for
ahead.
LP.
Oh shit.
I also
No.
saw that this was his evil twin, Waluigi.
Waluigi, yes.
Yeah.
It's the best post I saw. all
There's
day.
so many good memes from it.
Funny.
All right. Here, this is a raw version of what he said.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see
there
this
you go.
before I go to comment.
Oh, dude. Come on.
Dude.
It's completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and its lived experience.
Completely out of touch, an insult to the American people
And their lived experience.
and their lived experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I
think it-
comment on that?
Reminds
let it-
me
let
of the
it roll
rant
again.
my Adderall friends go on.
Oh, dude. Come on.
It's completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and its lived experience.
Okay, I just wanted to
Allow-
play again. Yeah. go ahead.
If I may, allow me to read in between the lines of that for a minute, and maybe give it a spin that maybe even Rob might be able to jive with a little here. So he says that this is completely unjust, and this is essentially, you know, it's a sham and a slap in the face of American people and their lived experience. Okay, what did we just live through 2, 4, 5 years ago? COVID.
Sure.
Who were the perpetuators of COVID? Not only the state and people like Fauci, but big pharma and big healthcare. Unless we forget that all of the healthcare companies during COVID were rejecting your families for treatments that were normally some, you know, fucking rubber stamp shit. We're telling you to go home and don't get your treatments. Don't, you know, your family with cancer, sorry, they're going to die. We can't do cancer treatment. Oh, your grandma needs a transplant for an organ? Sorry, we're not doing organ transplants. Grandma's going to die. And by the way, we're going to stick y'all with an experimental jab, an experimental vaccine that's going to kill half of y'all. And you guys are going to have to be okay with that, because you can't sue us if it goes fucking wrong for y'all. And it's just experimental, guys. We can't take this risk. Our lived experience, we just sat through the worst fucking, like, tirade, the worst fucking attrition of liberty we've ever seen in our lifetime. Our lived experience was one of hostile fucking ignorance towards medical science, as well as a shut up and do what you're told fucking mentality from the majority of society. That was our lived experience for the last 5 years. Take the jab, shut your fucking mouth, do what you're told, get in the pod, eat the bugs, and you're going to be happy about all that shit. That was our lived experience for the past 5 years. And it's a travesty to the United States of America and its citizens who watch this happen. Watch Big Pharma, watch Big Healthcare get fucking taken down by some random ass fucking kid in the streets of Manhattan. And everybody's going to, and they're going to sit there and make him into the villain. We fucking voted for vengeance. We wanted vengeance. We want to throw Anthony Fauci in fucking Gitmo and have him tortured like the fucking Gitmo detainees. But y'all are talking about this kid was evil for fucking icing this dude in the back of the head when he let your fucking grandma die of cancer, when he was denying your family members of fucking needed medical treatments during the fucking COVID regime. And he can just wash his hands on this because the COVID fucking regime told him it's okay. And Anthony Fauci and Donald Trump and then Joe Biden and all his crackheads, Nancy Pelosi said, hey, Johnson, it's okay. You can wash your hands now. You can be pious of all this shit.
I think. Okay, so first off, he wasn't the CEO during COVID. That was a different
Doesn't
guy.
matter.
That was a different guy, Andrew Whitty. I'm going to get there, okay? Just trust that I'm going to argue with you.
That is an important detail that I was unaware of.
Okay, so that's my first point, only to say not the same guy. But I understand your argument that there's a sentiment of distrust with Big Pharma and these insurance companies and all of that kind of stuff.
He didn't vote for vengeance. He got his vengeance.
Yeah, I'm not buying it, dude. I'm just not.
Tango down.
I'm not buying that he either wasn't a spook or he didn't have some kind of, I'm not buying it. All this mainstream media attention and all this coverage and all this really coincidental things that he had on him, it just sounds like an op.
If it was Fauci, if it was Fauci instead of capping the dude in the back, maybe.
Yeah.
If somebody would have shot Fauci.
Yeah, exactly. If it was Anthony Fauci and not this doofy from fucking United Healthcare, the biggest health insurance company in the United States, y'all would be cheering. Y'all be dancing in the streets like the fucking Israelis after 9/11. Yeah, y'all be the dancing.
But the leftists that are happy would be pissed. That's the funny part.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not I'm very neutral on how I feel about this whole thing, to be honest.
If Anthony Fauci was capped, you'd be dancing like Israelis in the street
for sure,
9/11.
but I'm not saying I'm against what I'm not saying I'm neither for or against what happened. I'm just saying.
No, you got to go like this. You got to give the Nixon.
We'd be dancing like the Syrian rebels in the street of Syria right now.
No. Not controversial or taken up. I want to dance like Israelis in the streets after 9/11.
Do the Nixon for me real quick.
Hit him with it.
I'm not a crook.
Where's it at? There it is. Right. Hey, Josh. I know how to make you feel better.
All right, go ahead. God damn it! God damn it! Take that dick off my screen! Fuck, the goddamn debt is too damn high.
Yeah.
Where's Jim McMillan when I need him here?
Well, when are you going to go shoot a Fed chairman?
Dead.
Never mind. Okay.
Not on YouTube. Not on YouTube, Tim. That's a conversation for the Secret Service.
Chat. We don't talk about that here.
We don't Fed post on our live shows.
Hey, I got some other news. Does anybody have anything else on that story? No?
Would.
Oh, yeah, smash.
Very nice.
Very nice.
No, we're good.
See, ABC knows what they're doing.
This is Good Morning America. Let me blow it up here.
Yeah, but it's on ABC.
Okay, so there was another piece of news that came out. The story's kind of old, so this one, I wanted to play this one first because it gives context to the rest of the story that I have laid out here. But yeah, this is a reporting from a year ago, and then we'll get to the announcement that came out today or yesterday.
Protests overnight demanding the arrest of the Marine veteran who put a homeless man in a deadly chokehold. Witnesses say the victim was acting erratically and threatening other passengers. Whit Johnson has the latest.
Overnight, protesters demanding the arrest of a Marine veteran seen in this disturbing video, putting a homeless man in a deadly chokehold.
You took drugs from us! How many more?
The NYPD now reviewing that video and calling for witnesses to come forward. Authorities say 30-year-old Jordan Neely was acting erratically, and some witnesses reported he threatened passengers on the Manhattan F train when the 24-year-old veteran stepped in. Other passengers seen holding Neely's arms. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
All right, these next two comments are important for context later, but this is, we know what story we're talking about, but this was at the time reporting.
Calling the case horrific.
This was an individual who took the situation into his own hands. Just looking at that video, it's wrong. No one has the right to take the life of another person.
But Mayor Eric Adams urging the public to trust the process.
But we need to be extremely clear that from day one of this administration, I focused on we cannot have people with severe emotional illnesses on our subway system.
Neely seen.
All right, so that was the reporting at the time. You see how they framed it. This was the news that broke, I don't know exactly when, yesterday, today.
Meanwhile, Daniel Penny has been found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Penny was accused of causing Neely's death during a confrontation on a New York City subway train last May. Prosecutors acknowledged that Neely, who had a history of mental illness, was yelling and making threats, but argued Penny's hold lasted almost a minute after Neely stopped moving. The defense argued Penny stepped up when Neely moved toward a bench full of women.
Ultimately, the jury decided, probably not so much based on the elements of the crime, but more so on, we think what Daniel Penny did was correct, that if someone was on the train with us, we would hope that a Daniel Penny would be there.
My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. Really.
All right, so Daniel Penny story. Where are you at? Good verdict, bad verdict?
Fuck around, you find out.
Yeah,
it's NYC.
Yeah, it's good.
Go ahead.
I have some pretty strong opinions on this one. Again, as someone who lived in New York City for 6 years, first of all, I think the ultimate villain of this story is that person who you just took off the screen.
Oh, his dad?
Dad.
Yeah.
I hate him more than literally anyone else in this entire chain of events.
I'm gonna.
I agree with David. I get you with David right now.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Because there was a time for people to help Jordan, and that was before that. The many times over, and somebody doesn't end up like that if the homeboy's dad there didn't fuck up pretty severely throughout his parenting. There was a time to have been there for Jordan, and now is not it.
Yeah, he's
this
right.
is just bullshit.
Yeah, he didn't have to go through that. His son didn't have to go through that. He could have actually been a dad and raised his kid, and he wouldn't have to be dealing with this right now.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that I point out is that he had food, stipend, housing, Medicare, and anything else that the leftists could argue is he should have bet blah blah blah. He was homeless by choice, and I think that is an extremely important piece of context. Now, I know what the New York City homeless shelter system looks like. It is a terrible place for most people. And if you do have any kind of drug addiction, it's really hard because they don't actually help you with the addiction. They make you quit cold turkey. They will drug test you basically every day. If you took drugs that day, you don't get in. But there's no sort of Suboxone clinics or anything like that to help get you clean. So I had quite a few friends that were in and out of that system when I lived there, and it's not a good system, but it is there. He had options, and he was choosing this, probably not consciously, because we know he was a drug addict, but there are places for people like that to be, not necessarily prison.
Or the subway,
mental hospitals, and things like that.
I wouldn't be in the subway either, buddy.
Right. And I think that the one thing that I will say is, given Daniel's experience and training, I think he should have known to let go sooner than he did. That is the only thing that I will say, because I do think that there's a window between incapacitated and dead, and him being on drugs closes that window severely, but it doesn't make it non-existent. And he was actually experienced enough to know the difference. If it was, I don't know anybody here's background, but like I'm not trained in that shit, but I'm like somewhat trained in that shit to where I might be able to do it and would probably try in that situation, but I would probably get my ass kicked. And if I maybe got my hands around him, I would not let go until I was 100% sure that I wasn't going to get my ass kicked. But he,
I mean, when someone's out,
better.
they're kind of out, right? Like I, it's been so long since I've seen the video, but I put someone out in a rear naked choke before. You get behind them and they go limp. It's pretty. And you got to get out. You got to get off of them. You got to put their legs up.
Yes.
You got to get them back to it. But he's trying to restrain him too because he doesn't want him to like wake up and then freak the fuck out. You know, because he was already freaking out.
All I'm gonna say is that I can't understand Daniel Penny's training because I went through Army basic training, not Marine Corps basic training or any of his training. But Army level 1 combatives, we're taught to kill them. Like basically, like yeah, you choke them out and then they stop moving and you hold them there until your buddy gets there with the tool to make sure that we neutralize the threat. And you understand, I don't think maybe you guys being in civilian side understand what neutralize the threat means.
Kill that
But
fucker.
that means kill that mother.
Yeah.
You ever played
Tango down.
Tim, you're a little bit older than Rob and Mitchell. You played Manhunt when you were younger, right? On
Oh, of
PlayStation.
course, that's one of my favorite games.
Remember the very
Manhunt.
beginning
I
of
played
Manhunt?
Cool.
Remember the very beginning of Manhunt where it's like, kill this stupid fuck?
Yeah, they
That's
give you a
exactly
plastic
what-
bag. Yeah.
and that's exactly what
Yeah.
that's basically what they teach you. Is like, yeah, kill that stupid fuck. If you came to a point where you need to choke that motherfucker out, strangle that bitch and let him die. Because guess what? If you don't choke him out, somebody's gonna come by with an M4 and ice his ass, and he'll be dead. And you don't got to worry about it anymore. Because guess what? When you neutralize your enemy, it doesn't come back to fight you again. Hey!
There's this. That's the one I was wanting earlier. But no, like even civilian training, you know, when I got my concealed carry, the instructor said, you know, dead people don't testify. So that's all there is to it.
I think another important context is that there is no cell phone service on the subway if it's between stations. Like zero, none. No matter who you are, what you have, none.
Wait, they have Wi-Fi on the plane, but not on the subway? Well, I guess
Correct.
you're underground, right? So that makes
No,
sense.
it's fucking New York's poor and shitty.
You have Wi-Fi in the stations, and you can usually get cell phone reception like in the 30 seconds you stop. So you get like enough reception for the news feed to kind of load another 2 minutes of content, and then you can still scroll as you're going. But if they were between two stations that were fairly far away from each other, there was no police option. Like
you can't call 911 is what you're saying.
Yeah, you can't call them. They're not going to be there. Like you have to wait until you stop, somehow get him off the train, and then call 911, and then they come.
And that sounds like what happened. If I was watching a bunch of clips about this, and they were saying like he held him until everybody got off onto the platform, and then he finally let him go. And like his talking about it was just like, I was just doing that to make sure everybody was safe, keep him away. Wasn't trying to kill the guy. But yeah. There's he's given an exclusive interview. He's already given it, but they're going to premiere it on Fox Nation or whatever. But they shared some.
Meanwhile, Daniel Penny.
They shared some clips of his statements there. That's the wrong one. Let me grab the right one. There we go.
Right. Daniel Penny breaking his silence in an exclusive interview with Judge Jeanine Pirro. That's going to be streaming tomorrow on Fox Nation. Just one day after a jury in Manhattan cleared him in the subway chokehold death of Jordan Neely. The former Marine revealing what was racing through his mind in the moments when he was on the subway floor, subduing Neely, a schizophrenic homeless man who was high on K2 and railing violently at passengers.
Oh, I forgot about the spies.
He was just threatening to kill people.
Yeah, me too.
He was threatening to
heroin.
Go to jail forever, go to jail for the rest of his life. And now where I'm on the ground with him, I'm on my back in a very vulnerable position. If I just would have let go, now he turns.
Why is that a vulnerable position?
Well, if I just let him go, I'm on my back now. He can just turn around and start
stomping on you, stabbing on you.
So
killing,
hurting.
The former Marine enduring years of vicious left-wing attacks who vilified him as a racist. But Penny has no regrets, and here's why.
What in you caused you to want to get involved?
I mean, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really extend myself. Like this type of thing is very uncomfortable. All this attention and limelight is very uncomfortable, and I would prefer without it. I didn't want any type of attention or praise, and I still don't.
Especially with
the
her
guilt I
looking
would
at
have
you.
felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself.
Yep, that's it right
And
there.
I'll take a million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt or killed.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, what was his motivation for getting involved? Like, he has been, like we were talking about earlier, he was a Marine, he was trained in certain things, and he knows in himself, I have the ability to stop this right now. This guy is threatening to kill people on this train, saying he doesn't give a fuck, he'll go to jail, he doesn't care, he's gonna kill everyone. If I don't stop him and he hurts someone, I know that I could have stopped it. That's huge. Like that touches me.
Yeah.
In a nice way.
And I mean, you'd be surprised
In your
how
no-no square?
often that shit happens in NYC. Like,
Yes.
you every day. Like, I remember being in college and like me and my brother said some shit to some dude who was wilding out on the train. Like, bro, you do that shit, we're gonna do some shit, and you ain't gonna like the shit we do when you do that. So like, make your choices appropriately, sir.
Yeah. I have had some fucking absolutely wild experiences on the New York City subway. Like, there was one person, probably the best story I have, and it's short. Dude came in, clearly a dude, like big ass Adams,
It's ma'am.
Like, not trans,
It's
mind
ma'am.
you. Like this is just a dude.
In women's
Comes
clothing.
in. And no, just like he looks like a normal,
Don't
not a
you
normal
mouth
dude,
off
like
to
a
me, huh?
normal homeless dude comes in, starts telling his sad, sappy story, and part of it is that he had a C-section to have a daughter. And my friend is like, my friend is sitting on the bench next to me and just like can't help himself and just kind of. And the dude like gets all up in his face and starts threatening to fight him over not believing, and like lifts up his shirt, and there was a scar across his stomach. Like, I'll give him that. And he was like, I have a scar, and but this is clearly a dude.
Yeah.
And like my friend almost, I mean, he would have, my friend was significantly larger than this person, but my friend almost got his ass whooped for just like laughing.
Oh, he
This
froze up.
ridiculous
There you
ass
go.
story from somebody who was on who knows what.
Yeah, no, it caught up. That's good. Just another Thursday in New York, right?
Yeah. You just get used to ignoring that shit.
Yeah, there was he talks about like the atmosphere in New York a little bit, talking about like how it even got to this point. So I'll play that last clip from this segment, and then we can go to the next.
Daniel Penny also sending a message to liberal city leaders whose policies led to what happened on that subway. Watch.
These public officials would do something so self-serving.
But how does it serve them to hurt you?
Just political gain. I mean, these are their policies that are, and I don't mean to get political. I don't really want
on Fox News
to make any enemies, really. Although I guess
That's
I
how I
have
went to
already.
interview him. Like, why not? Hey, Fox
But I
News,
mean,
Fox
these are
Nation.
their policies that have clearly not worked. That the people, the general population, are not in support of. Yet, their egos are too big just to admit that they're wrong.
Yeah. So basically saying, it's your policies that led us to this point, and you created this opportunity, in our society. But there are other people who don't see it that way. And I have two clips. One of them, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Another one, a really good point there. But you were saying earlier that his dad. So do you not blame George? His dad pissed you off more than anybody else. I submit to you, Exhibit A and B, who are both going to be far worse than his dad. Mitch, I can't hear you.
You're bringing up her.
Yeah, she's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and the reason too is you'll notice this lady in the second video when it gets even more extreme. But listen to how this Black Lives Matter leader is reacting to the situation and the verdict. So just the logic. There you go.
So do you not blame Jordan Neely at all? I mean, for what he did? He deserves no blame from your perspective, right?
Did you hear the witness testimony?
I'm asking
or
you a question.
Are you cherry picking the ones?
I'm asking you a question. Do you blame Jordan Neely at all for his conduct?
If Jordan Neely was a white man, we'd be saying it was an opioid crisis. He was hungry. He was mentally ill. He had a muffin in his pocket.
I wouldn't be if there were other. What about the witnesses? Let's play again, just so we're clear on the race.
Play Eddie Gibson, who begged Daniel Neely to stop.
Oh, again, but he stayed there throughout the incident.
Play the ones that fit the narrative.
But what's the narrative? There's black women who were on the subway. It was mostly people of color on the subway.
What about a white man during cross-examination who said that he was afraid of Daniel Penny, the one who poured water onto his head and said that he was afraid? He was a white man.
Yeah. Okay. So
what about the Latino man who was holding his arms?
I'm not the one identifying everyone by race. You are. You're the one who keeps telling. Why do you have to? There was nothing in this case.
Because when you look at the FBI, when you look at when hate crimes happen, when you look at when injustice happened to black people,
but let's agree.
Don't get justice.
Let's agree to some. Look, I'm going to be doing a segment later this week on a missing black woman who has not been getting nearly enough
I'm not
attention.
racist.
By the media,
Absolutely.
because I understand that, and to that degree, you have a fair point about the way sometimes the media and the justice system handles, but not in this case. This case, even the prosecutors conceded Daniel Penny had every right to go hands-on, and the question became, okay, when should he have stopped? I understand that.
The time frame on that from the DA's office was after 30 seconds. Can you not concede that Daniel Penny was a trained killer, that he not have his gray belt? United States Marine Corps is an assassin?
Sure, but
he knew.
Every Marine is a trained
because
assassin.
Actually, black Marines and white Marines have reached out and actually told us he went too far.
Going too far is different from criminal.
Let me break it down. A chokehold.
He didn't go far enough.
How much money do you think she has stolen from people that thought that they were donating to BLM to help communities, but in actuality, she was just taking it to fucking pay for her next big luxury mansion?
Just like enough to buy 2 houses, right?
Yeah.
That's what they got.
A couple luxury cars, some nice designer clothing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to say one thing before we play the next clip. He disarmed her bullshit very well. That was a clean response. Disarmed the shit. Has a show coming up that he could beautifully done. I've never seen that show before, but
he could probably pay his portion of the debt.
Sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was
yes.
That was the white anchor version of "I Have Black Friends."
There were some moments I was like, come on,
done
bro.
way better than at least it wasn't "I Have Black Friends." It was I have this, I sympathize, but not here. And
strategically going on the defense can be very risky.
I want to point out in this next clip, you'll notice that woman is standing right next to this guy, and she's being a Josh Olavka level hype man for him. So
that's hard to do.
No,
but she's got it.
Yeah, we'll see. But
of course,
anyway,
he's a Yankees fan.
You were saying earlier that that Daniel Penny's dad pissed you off more than anybody else. This guy is going to take the cake. Are you ready?
Just like everybody else seeks justice on their own, just like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
Where do you find loud white people at?
What's that?
I want to know where you find loud white people at. I don't see that.
Anywhere that Bohemian Rhapsody is playing on the radio.
There you go.
That doesn't count. That's artificially loud white people. They don't count. I need legitimately loud white people. They're quiet. White people are quiet. I have to tell them to talk the fuck up all the time.
Matter and Kluxbuster, I guess.
Yeah.
BLM is handling the not guilty verdict about exactly as you'd imagine. I have a question though.
Hold on.
Just like everybody else has vigilantes.
He's definitely part Puerto Rican.
That guy's Puerto Rican?
Definitely.
I heard he
That
was built like
motherfucker's
a Mexican.
loud.
That's what I've been told on the internet.
Yeah, he is built like a Mexican. I can vouch for that. I deal with Mexicans all the time now.
No, never mind. But no, it's just crazy. Like, they're reacting in different ways, but Black Lives Matter, you can count on them to say, the solution is if it's legal to kill people now just because you feel threatened, then maybe we should go kill some people. Like, the fuck, dude? It's not going to make anything any better.
Maybe we should burn some businesses down or something. I don't know.
These people make me appreciate the Nation of Islam.
You said that. Yeah, Mitch and I were looking at these clips before the show. He did say that.
Yeah. I was just like...
Well, there's Mayor Eric Adams has been being called a right-winger because of all this.
Beautiful. I'm loving this shit.
Yeah, but somebody else who I didn't show this one to Mitch. He hasn't seen this one yet. But even Scarborough, I think, is putting the blame in kind of he's pointing in the right direction. He might not be pulling the trigger fully, but he's pointing in the right direction. Here we go.
Mika, the mental health system in this country, again, is just grossly insufficient. Whether you're talking about New York, whether you're talking about Florida, whether you're talking about California, you have people walking around on the streets that have mental health issues. And the fact that some progressives have said basically, we're just, let's pass laws that allow homelessness. You look at San Francisco, you look at Los Angeles, as we've said all along, and Rev and I have said all along, there's nothing compassionate about that.
No.
Yeah, so it's like he's criticizing progressives and saying it's your policies, it's your attitude towards this whole thing that's created this situation. Interesting that Joe Scarborough, after meeting with Donald Trump, is becoming one of the more reasonable people.
Right.
Because he doesn't want MSNBC to get bought by Elon Musk, dude. I'm telling you, they're walking on thin ice. Trump said, if you want to keep talking your shit, Joe, we're going to buy MSNBC, and you're going to be doing news on YouTube. How would you like that, Joe? I don't think you like YouTube very much, do you, Joe?
I think you're close, but not quite. I think it's him sucking up to his future bosses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
it's like,
they are going to buy it.
They are going to buy it, yeah.
Y'all are going to... Let me suck your dick real quick.
That makes more sense.
I can capitulate.
So I will say, the laws, especially in New York City, are some of the most ridiculous. And I firmly believe that it was intentional. And we've seen other cities do the same thing, but they all did it afterwards, and they had a shorter time span of the pendulum swing. And so a lot of New York's laws haven't quite caught up. But they went... a bunch of people were demanding bail reform from 2018 to 2022. And a lot of cities did that. And a lot of cities tried to get rid of cash bail and all of these different things. And New York City did it by far the worst. You basically have to be convicted or accused of attempted murder or worse to be held for any amount of time. Any assault, most violent crimes are still catch and release in New York City. And it's wild. They did it on purpose because the news has been running, this person's been released 82 times and then killed somebody every other day for the last 6 years since they did it. Mm-hmm. Not quite that long. I overshot that. 4. Because that was even pre-George Floyd, if I'm not mistaken. And it was intentionally done. And so all of these points of it's the liberal policies, I don't even think that it wasn't intentional for it to last this long. What they wanted to do is the same thing that San Francisco and Austin and Dallas and Boston and most of these other major liberal cities have done, where they swung the pendulum and then quickly swung it back the other way to where they actually have harsher police states in their cities. New York is doing that, but they haven't
around on the streets.
Sorry. Yep. No, you're fine. I didn't mean to do that.
So yeah, it's entirely the politicians' fault trying to play the populace in this fear-mongering game. They wanted this to happen.
Yeah, I think white people and black people on the New York City subway need a break for now. So I think the white people should just start taking the Jewish tunnels just for a little bit, and then we'll be fine.
We're gonna cede our pure white tunnels to the Negro race, Rob. This is fucked up.
Yes.
Oh, jackpot!
That was not the one I wanted.
That's how they're gonna
Well,
feel. They're
you
like,
know
"Oh,
what?
That's
That's not the one I wanted to play.
It fit. Okay.
it fit.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. I'm glad he got off on this charge because it was kind of ridiculous, and the way that everybody was framing it at the beginning with Kathy Hochul, saying like, it's just crazy that people can just go around and kill each other and get away with it. No, there's a thing called self-defense, and in New York and their politicians and other places as well have been trying to take away that right for a long time. Your right to self-defense, your right to defend the people, your family, your people around you, your property. We saw that with Kyle Rittenhouse. Mm-hmm. They've been going after this for a long time, and it's good that we're seeing a turning, because if this would have happened, George Floyd era or earlier, it could have very easily went the other way. We saw what happened to Chauvin, and there's a bunch of other cases where, you say what you want about the cops, but there are times where lethal force is justified. And there were many of those people that were thrown under the bus in the name of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or whatever, in the name of, race. I don't know what you call it. There's a word for it, and I can't think of it right now, but it's basically like evening the playing field on a racial basis.
Equity?
And no, that's not it. But I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is, there were a lot of people that were thrown under the bus for that reason. And I'm glad that we're out of that era. It makes me a little more comfortable.
I will say Floyd wasn't threatening anybody.
Right.
That I think the cases are very, very different in the fact
I didn't
that
say they were the same. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only thing that was wrong with the George Floyd one was he was on fentanyl at the time, and that's probably a highly contributing factor to his death. I'm not saying that the knee on the neck wasn't a contributing factor to it. Like, I don't think he dies if he doesn't, if he's not going through that experience.
Similar situation with the Penny thing, right? Like the question wasn't about whether or not he was allowed to do it or should have done it. It was how long he did it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a good question. And I kind of want to look back at the video, but I don't know if we want to bring that up tonight or not, but just the analysis of it, yeah.
No, let's not go back into George Floyd, but I don't agree that. I agree that Chauvin maybe didn't get what he deserved, but he got what he got, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. You don't feel bad for him because he's a cop.
No, I don't feel bad for him because you kneeled on a nigga's neck for 8.5 minutes and let that motherfucker die. And you have an obligation when you put on that badge to serve and protect. And you serve, but you definitely didn't protect in that situation. And I get that you don't have a constitutional or legal obligation to serve and protect, but God damn, if that ain't what you're doing, what the fuck are my taxpayers going for? And why can't I off you in the streets without fucking regard for your fucking personal lives?
You gotta have a
also, one of them had handcuffs.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That's another good point.
If Penny had cuffs to just have cuffed Neely to one of the bars in the subway, I think Neely would have survived.
Yeah,
that would have been the logical option, and I think Penny probably would have been smart enough to do that. But he wasn't a cop; he wouldn't have cuffs on him.
Yeah,
or we would have bashed his head in the floor and say that they beat him. I don't know.
If only someone on that train was on their way to or from a really kinky BDSM session.
Oh my God, who had the fuzzy cuffs? Who had them?
All you needed was one person.
Man, this man got me some goddamn fuzzy cuffs.
Clearly.
Yeah,
no libertarians on that train.
No. You want to get into something that I don't know if it's funny or not, but it's kind of ridiculous. Here you go.
Bit of breaking news to bring to you right now. We've gotten word that Republican leader Mitch McConnell has taken a fall. It happened during the Senate Republican lunch today. 2 medical responders were seen briefly entering the office afterward. They have now left. Our Jay O'Brien is on the Hill. Jay, what more do we know?
Total got
Yeah,
stuck on his
Kira,
back.
we know essentially what you know, which is that Mitch McConnell had that fall during the weekly Senate Republican lunch. Obviously, it was in the view of the Senate Republican conference and his colleagues. He is currently in his office. Last we were aware, he was visited briefly by 2 medical responders who went into his office, briefly visited with McConnell, and then left. John Thune, who's the incoming Senate Majority Leader who is taking
Mitch
over
is all
for
right.
McConnell, has said that McConnell is fine and that he's in his office. That is the extent of what we know of McConnell's condition after
Leave
that fall.
Mitch
But remember,
alone.
Kira, this comes after McConnell had a series of public falls over the years. And then, of course, those 2 instances in which he froze up in public before.
Oh, what a guy to tee me off. This was a year ago.
The NDA
turtle man.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation.
Oh, is this when he froze?
And a string
One of the times, yeah. This was in July 2023. Rip. Here, I got another one.
Basically, what it was happening.
I'm sorry.
This is another one. This was in August.
Okay, what are your thoughts on running for
Bro, look at that million-yard stare. That motherfucker got dementia like heavy.
Oh.
They're asking him, what are your thoughts on running for re-election?
That's
No.
Bro.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
He's got dementia. Bro, that man's got Alzheimer's.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Dude, his mind is not that.
Bro, he's not there. He's not there. Like, he looks like my fucking grandfather-in-law before he passed. Like,
yeah, I've seen that.
Hardcore.
You know what's even scarier than that?
Shit.
He's gonna win. He's gonna
win re-election.
No,
He was the Senate Majority Leader when all this was
Are you speculating, David, or do you know for sure? Because he's gonna win.
I'm speculating. If he runs, he wins for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna
I'm
win.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me it's not like Fetterman.
Didn't he announce he wasn't actually?
No, he's running.
No, he's a puppet for someone. Like, he's not calling the shots. Someone he's their marionette.
Who is
puppet.
replacing Mitch McConnell?
They need a new marionette puppet.
They don't have a replacement for Mitch yet. They can't let him go.
I'm asking the AI. We're gonna find out.
Unless maybe is anyone primarying him?
He needs to go. If you have to, yeah. God, he's too old, dude. He's too fucking.
He's gonna be 84 in 2026.
If he wasn't such
There's
a
still a lot of
neocon,
life in that young man.
If he wasn't such a neocon, I would make the Fetterman argument of, you know what, keep him around, but he's just too much of an awful fucking neocon.
He's gonna die in office just like Dianne Feinstein.
So he's stepping down as Senate Majority Leader.
Uh-huh.
I got that mixed up with saying he wasn't running.
That could be a sign though that he's out. Like,
Yeah.
why would he step down if he wasn't going to bow out?
Well,
I think he was out when he fell today.
Grassley.
Stupid.
Take the Chuck Grassley approach, where he does just kind of like fade into irrelevancy, and then die in the job.
Yeah,
fading into irrelevancy. He's fading into nothingness in his own mind. He can't. He's a void.
Do we agree that
he should get out of the public spotlight before that happens completely?
Yeah, by stepping down as speaker. If you're okay, do we agree that Mitch McConnell is an establishment Republican that will do anything party first or establishment 1st or whatever? Like that's his MO, right? Okay. So him staying in office makes perfect sense, because if he dies in office, the Republican establishment gets to pick his replacement, and it's much harder to beat an incumbent.
Yeah.
So he could stick it out until the end for that reason alone.
That's why the Democrats fucking tried to run with it's different, Supreme Court, but fucking Ruth Bader Ginsburg kept her alive, and that didn't work out for him. Bad strategy. Just do it the fucking right way, man. Forget all this bullshit. Get him out of there. Get one of your other guys. Tell Mitch, you're done. You're fucking done. And you know what, Mitch? We're bringing in someone who's better. So just do that.
On that note, I just want to say, if Clarence Thomas is smart, he'll do what Ruth Bader Ginsburg did not do, while Trump.
Rick
totally
Gator,
butchered that.
you got it.
I'm just playing them all.
Why I oughta
masturbating Ginsburg.
Ruth the Bader.
Ruth the masturbator over here. She was a masturbator.
No, we're getting we're going crazy here.
Right.
Boys, hey, this was a super chat that came in. It was a $5 super chat. So drink. Rob, do we have to buy tickets to your show on Thursday night?
No, the guy who's running it, he's very funny, but he's new at running shows, so he's only doing door sales. So Senior Frogs, Panama City this Thursday, 9 to 11, 9/11.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. Is there anything else that we want to talk about before we get out of here? I don't know if there is or not.
I did have that Rob Schneider thing I tagged in the Discord.
Rob Schneider is the hot girl.
Because Rob Schneider is fairly libertarian, if not libertarian. I don't know how he self-identifies. I think he's probably Republican, but I think we could win him over.
Is he passing?
Yeah, I don't know. Not with this.
Is the libertarian.
Yeah, snarf, snarf. He wants to shut down the government, snarf, snarf.
But he's about to find out. That's a deep state. They won't let him do it. Dun, dun, dun. How is this not a fucking Freedom Tunes bit already? Come on.
Where your country gone? Where my country gone?
Yeah.
All right, here. This is Rob Schneider's latest announcement.
Okay, the big announcement. What's happening?
Well, No Apologies Media, my new company, we're going to do a all-ladies talk show that won't be like The View.
Is it the opposite of The View?
It could be, but we're just going to do a show that it'll be the opposite because this will be entertaining.
Okay.
It'll be funny.
Yeah.
We'll have funny women on it. They're going to tell jokes and have funny stories and health and wellness.
Is the idea to go after The View at the same time slot? Are you going, it's a competitor?
We're going to compete with them, yeah. I don't know if it's the same time slot. We're not going to announce who's doing the show yet, but that's what's happening now, and it's official. So now we're moving ahead.
Give us a timeline.
January, we're going to start shooting shows before the inauguration.
Are you talking to people? You're talking to famous people, women that you like?
Yes, we have a lot of women we like, and it's household names, and you're going to love it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a funny show. Not going to be like drowning people in politics. It's not going to be shaming people and making people wince.
Okay.
You know?
It's going to be Roseanne fucking Barr.
Yeah.
Calling it now. Calling it now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yo, if Whitney Cummings is on it, I might watch.
Yeah,
there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would watch for Whitney.
We
Or Liza
got to think
Schlesinger.
who are the best women we could bring on there. I can only think of one woman, and that is Blair White.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
they might put her on.
Honestly, though, that actually
Right on
could
this.
work. Like I like jokes aside, like that.
Well, the main goal isn't politics. It's he is gonna do some politics on there, but that's kind of what he was saying. He's like it's gonna just be entertaining. It's just opposite. I don't know. But I thought it
Blair's
was
one of
good.
those people who kind of
Yeah,
crop dust culture too.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's what he meant by it. You're saying it's gonna be like more of an entertainment show than a political show, but I think he was just making fun of The View not being entertaining. I don't. That's it. Yeah.
No, well, he said it could be. Whenever they were like, "Is it going to be the opposite of the view?" He said it could be because it's going to actually be entertaining. But I think he said we're not going to shove politics down your throat. That's what he said. So I think it's going to be political. They're going to report the news, but yeah, it's going to be more neutral, maybe more right leaning. We'll see. I think it's
Definitely. Yeah. Because he came out in support of Trump before this whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, at least he's trying something new. At least he's not dredging up the corpse of something.
Good luck, but if it's fucking Lady Ballers or some shit like that, it's gonna be cringe as hell, and no one's.
Yeah, Lady Ballers sucked. I turned it off within the first 20 minutes.
On the topic of the Daily Wire, while we were live, Brett Cooper finally put up a video announcing that she's leaving the Daily Wire.
No.
Very nice.
Yep, we are watching the fall of the Daily Wire in real time. It is 12-minute. It is a 12-minute long video.
So when they lost the black
Christ.
woman, no one cared. But now that the white woman's leaving, now it's the end.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
God bless white women.
There goes my $14 a month Daily Wire. You
God bless white women.
I'm trying to find her announcement.
God bless white Jesus.
That's the first wood of the show that we've talked about.
Y'all Negroes are acting too out of pocket.
Yeah.
down.
Yep.
Can
No,
we do
that's
the cold open
her
again?
new channel thing. I'm leaving the Daily Wire. Daryler. It's 12 minutes. God
Yeah,
damn
that's
it.
what I said.
I would do
Yeah.
12 minutes of that.
Yes.
Leaving the Daily Wire. Here's what you should know. I'm leaving
That's
because
fine.
Ben sucks.
Baby girl.
Anyway, come with us to the after
Come to the
show where
swamp,
we'll watch
girl.
this.
I can make your whole dreams come true.
Okay, we
She's
can watch
not
it
dressed
now.
for the. She's not dressed for the swamp, dude.
She can
won't.
be dressed for the swamp. I can make her
Yeah.
dress for the swamp. I can buy her a new outfit.
Fiona.
I can pay my portion of the debt.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good way. We'll roll it out with that. Hey, Dave. I have it there. It's there. I have it. I need to put it on a hotkey so I can just trigger Josh whenever I want.
Need that new Elgato Stream Deck.
Hey, Dave, go ahead and let people know where they can find you. Plug your event again, all that stuff.
Hell yeah. So I am on Twitter at David Fite or Free Speech Media Corp or Fight for Liberty. I got quite a few accounts. Facebook, all the same accounts. And definitely come to LibertyCon in February, 8th and 9th, 7th and 8th. And use code FIGHT when you check out. You get some percentage off. I don't know what it is yet.
All right, good deal. There we go. Code FIGHT. Let's go. And it's spelled like your name, right? F-I-T-E?
Yeah.
Yep, code FIGHT. All right, go ahead, Josh.
I mean, Dave, I'm going to be having a baby in February, but I'm going to try and come out to LibertyCon if I can. It sounds like a good time, and I want to hang out with Glenn Jacobs and Nick Namath if I can. Outside of that, guys, follow me at Real Swamp Josh on Twitter. I'm not on Facebook anymore because Facebook is fake and gay, so get off of there. I'm not on Instagram because that's fake and gay too. Your social media suck. Ted Kaczynski was right about technology. I need somebody to help me update joshuahlopka.com to something a little bit cooler than my old campaign website. So shoot in my DMs. They're always open on Twitter for you. And if you haven't already, come join our Discord because that's where all the fun's at in the swamp, boys.
Yes, it is. Mitch, go ahead.
Hell yeah, go follow me on the X, the Twitter, whatever the hell we're still calling it. Who the hell even knows? But
Backshots.com. That's what I call it.
After you said all that,
OnlyFans.com/Mitch Connor JLo.
You know what? Fuck that goddamn social media shit, and just go check out my store that currently has a sale going on TeePublic, 1776 Swag. Or if you want to go to the website, 1776swag.com, go check that out.
I'm wearing their merch right
now, so go check out the TeePublic one.
I'm wearing their merch right now. I'm a walking advertisement for 1776swag.com.
You got some cool Ron Paul shirts on there too, and Javier Mela shirts.
Yeah, no, the site is kind of fucked right now, so I recommend the TeePublic one for the time being. And my website is one of the other websites where I sell my merch on. It is one of the backup stores, and they currently have a sale going on. So go check them out.
Yeah, check that URL, Tim.
I did.
I know it is.
The secret T-shirt menu. DM Mitch Connor JLo for the secret T-shirt menu.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait, nudge.
Rob, what do you got?
I got some dates coming up. Like Pat mentioned, this Thursday, Panama City, Senior Frogs, tickets at the door, stand-up comedy. And then next week, I got a show I'm hosting at Club 27 Pensacola on December 17th. And going to Mobile, Oyster City on December 20th. We're going to have a good time there. And then I got some other shows coming up in January, so I'll keep y'all posted on that. Just follow our events and comedy.
When you coming out my way, Rob?
Never. I actually I told all the LNC members that we need to have our next quarterly meeting in Tucson, Arizona, or Phoenix, Arizona. So the seed has been planted, and like everyone agreed with me. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And look, a lot of our LNC members are either in Arizona or on the West Coast, but it's like an hour or two flight. This is really easy to get to. Rob, if they do end up doing this, you can come stay with me. I will house you so you can save on the hotel expenditure.
That would be very nice. Thank you.
A
You
tour
come
of
hang out. I will cuddle with you in bed all night, boy.
That'd be
the tour of the dry swamp coming soon.
It hasn't.
Yeah, make sure you guys are in the Discord. Thanks again to David Fite for joining us. Go follow him at David Fite. All of his links and everything are in the description so that we can get his stuff out there. We've discovered that we can play poker in the Discord lounge.